Welcome to another video about my BeagleBoard Classic, which runs Ubuntu Linux. The focus of this video is to get this fischertechnik camera connected to this board and of course get some images from it. Last time I tried to get either a GUVC view and cheese working, where neither of which worked out. So the question is why? And given the fact that this board has very limited memory, I started wondering if that could have anything to do with it, apart from the fact that the Ubuntu version on this board is rather old, which led me to the next idea. And screencast again, because of what I want to show you. This is HDMI to digital monitor cable, and this is the serial cable which ultimately leads to this terminal for minicom. And I will get to it in a moment. Okay, so here is still the camera, which is not connected as yet, but let me boot the board, and then you can see what happens on the screen. So this I always did with my former project with the roller track, to get it booted from this one. Anyway, what you can see is not a specific CPU. Revision C4, which indicates this is a pretty old board. And only 702 megahertz, pretty slow as well then. Networking, it's all alright, and then I should get eventually a nice screen like this. So that works. The problem is though that it didn't originally have that graphical screen, because when I look at the Linux versions that are on this board, they are from 2014 and no later, and from later there are no versions, and this has a specific ARM HF, which stands for hard float, so it needs to have a kernel about that, which are no later from Ubuntu. And when I looked further, I saw there is nothing else, not from Ubuntu, that is. When I look at Fedora, which this laptop runs with, I found out there are versions, but they are very bloated, with a lot of software, not with the graphical software that this is. And then I realized, back when I started with this board, I used a headless, which means without monitor, version, and I added all the graphical software myself. So that is the point where I'm now headed as well. What happens if I change the software from Ubuntu to Fedora Linux 33, which is the latest version? headless, so I have to add all the graphical stuff myself. However, I have to put it on this one or a similar SD card. But will it be enough to get the camera running? Because that is what the focus is about. And another question is, did I have enough memory in the past? Because I did something, but it was with another board, which was a slightly upgraded version with more memory. So I think I can update this board to Fedora 33 headless, install the graphical stuff, but there's little chance that I get this camera running. So what to do? That's a good question. I can always try, and when it doesn't happen, or is not possible, I did my best. I think that's the way to go. And to show the thing with Fedora Linux, here I have workstation, which is the GNOME workshop desktop, KDE, XFCE, LXDE. These two are well known for their very small memory based environment. However, when I go to the desktop on the BeagleBoard, and yes, this gray stuff is the BeagleBoard, and you see here Fvwm, which is not present in the list on the downloads. So before I download this part, Fedora Server or Minimal, I need to make sure that Fvwm is actually still supported, because without that everything else won't go. Because I, despite everything, I like a graphical desktop. So I have to find out that first. So from here, with the knowledge that I have installed Fvwm, I go here to Internet, once again Fedora 33, and no Fvwm here, but I can use either this one or this one, and this one doesn't mean it is a server per se, developed as a server, but you can add anything you want. So does Fedora still support Fvwm? Latest release 2007, 14, no, it's November, so 13 years ago. But when I go here, packages.org, Fedora 33, right here, ARM HPF, and I think that is the one I need to have, which serves Fvwm 2, 6 and 9. And here we have at the latest 2.5. So that's surprising. But if this is correct, and I need to be very sure about this part, ARM v7HL apparently, which is hard float. If that is correct, then I can try to put it on this card after I save everything. And then maybe I can go save on the internet once again, because a version from 2014 is not considered to be safe, as is any operating system which is that old. So let's do something in order to get it running. Right, so now you see that VNC environment has gone. I only have camera and a powered down board. It does nothing anymore, all lights are off. Power connector has gone. Also the SD card has gone because, let me go here. The point is that after download 500 megabytes, it changed into 6-fold, so 3 gigabytes. Now, then another point is it's the RAW extension, which I don't know. Well, I know it from photos, but not from disk images. So, after, of course, backing up everything that was on the card with respect to Python code, C code, etc., and some scripts, the latest date was 2014, which is the date that the card had on itself. I hope that this will work. And to be sure it works, I have to, in this file manager, remove this card. And I better check that. So open a new tab and say amount, which remarkably says it's still there. So let me, yes, it's still there. Now I boot it. Okay, now it should not be there anymore. No, now it's gone. Okay, that's good. And when I open it again, it should not have anything. Oh, that's remarkable. It still has them. That should not happen. So let me check again. Okay, now it's gone, supposedly. So let me see if this is out. And that may take. So I guess that this is the last thing I do for this episode, but hang on. Alright, sudo and input file, output file. Let's see. If it works out anyway. We'll see. And this shows that it has written the image to the SD card, and the file manager showed a success rate. So let's go to the next phase, is inserting it into the controller and see if it boots serially. Let's do that. Alright, the card is in the BeagleBoard. Power. And I will have to press the buttons again. I hope I did it in the correct order. I don't think so. No, it's not read. I'm doing it the wrong way somehow. Okay. And I have a little problem now because after finding the correct sequence of the buttons again, I have here the problem. Reading Uimage, and Uimage is the Linux kernel that is on the card, but it has a problem to read it. So something is not quite correct, unfortunately. And what it is, I can't tell right now. I have to investigate. So, I think that's a good time to say, nice try, next time better. So, with the SD card now with Fedora Linux but as yet unable to start. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and give the video a thumbs up. Leave a comment or suggestion, which is very much appreciated. You can also follow me via Instagram and Twitter. Please show your support by either becoming a patron and perhaps have your name mentioned, or donate via either PayPal or IBAN. This is obviously going to be continued, with or without camera. So, stay safe, take care, bye.